Sure. In terms of the discussions that the President, Johannes, and I had, they ranged in subject, including the issue of the Black Sea, and I'll let him explain in more detail as he would like. But we are, again, fully aware and apprised, because we are in constant communication with the President, with his administration here, about the concerns that they have about the entire region and, frankly, the vulnerability. All you have to do is look at the map. Prices have gone up, and families and individuals are dealing with the realities of that bread costs more, that gas costs more. Because as we all know, elections matter. And when folks vote, they order what they want, and in this case, they got what they asked for. I went off script a little bit.
Is there anything else you can do to help bring down the cost of gas?
Well, first of all, let's just say that this is a very real issue, and we have to do something about it, and it's one of our highest priorities as an administration.
All right. Welcome once again to the beatzillapdx official show. I am your host, beatzillapdx officially, and this is the midweek report, and this is the news break edition. So that means that this broadcast is tape delayed, but you would be seeing it as if it is live. So for those of you who are in the chat watching the replay, so if you can hit the like button. If this did actually go through on X, you can watch, you're on X, go over to the YouTube channel and watch this on the YouTube channel and subscribe. Make sure, again, hit the like button. You'll see the thumbs up button. Share this out on your social media if you would. Share this out on X. And then also, of course, subscribe, like I've already told you guys who haven't already done so. Hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded or a video premieres. And then also you can join this channel. And if you join this channel, then you'll see certain things that are only in the members area, as well as some certain videos will air in the members only area first. So with that being said, thanks and shout out to all of the members as well. And thank you to everyone tuning in this evening. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon each and every one of you. Thank you. Now, with that being said, we're talking about the whole DNC war on Black voices. And it's still going on, of course. But it's going on in different fashions and different, it's playing out in different mediums. One we heard recent, with well, let's put it this way. Luther Campbell has been, for the past few weeks here, leading up into this election, has been trying to break into being a little more politically vocal, I guess, but wanting the engagement of the grassroots, which he really doesn't. He doesn't really garner. So what ends up happening is a lot of the people and, the Black or immigrant class, shall I say, that probably cannot vote or is not voting or might be voting a different way. They are pretty much the people who he's around, from what I can tell, in these spaces. So he's been trying to get engagement from Foundational Black American Freedmen for a while. Back when I was still active in spaces, when me and Black Alpha were doing ours, we were telling y'all a long time ago, like, I saw Luke coming early. And as soon as he hopped out there, I was like, watch these people. I've told you a few people to watch for. You see Mano over there with Angela Yee. I told you that, his content was going to move over into more of a political, urban political type of area, which, that's the nature of the business. But I know what I see when I'm starting to see certain people in certain spaces, which, again, that's the nature of the business. So with watching all of these people come out of the woodwork, they're manifesting themselves now. And here's Luke, basically wants to double back and get some more attention. He sees old heads like Steve Harvey, D.L. Hughley. These people are getting some kind of recognition on some kind of level, and people are having to listen to what's going on with them, right or wrong. So whether it be positive or whether it be negative, you are seeing some people wanting to jump out there and get attention on themselves for whatever reason. So with Luther Campbell, who's been doing the FBA is this and FBA is that, which FBA, Foundational Black American, is a lineage. It's not a group. It's not an organization. By group, you could just designate that as any group of people. So white folks, Chinese, Japanese, those are groups. So if you're saying that, we are a lineage group, and we are now pushing lineage reparations, which we have been pushing for. We've been pushing reparations for quite some time, but the need to have to be extremely specific has manifested itself in recent years, and we're seeing why what really motivates a lot of these individuals that are complaining all the time. I've told you for a while here that Pan-Africanists are also playing into a certain angle of distraction, because understanding that that's really a dead issue. America is very well aware that they're not worried about no Pan-Africanists, because you're never building a coalition across seas. They just throw some of them African leaders some money, and that's dead on arrival. Now, people over here don't seem to understand that for whatever reason, but the United States government would definitely go ahead and take care of that. They just throw them a little bag, and all of I don't know what's happened. Oh, your visa did not go through. Yes, you can't come here. No, I know the agreement, but you cannot come here. The American government has told me with this fat bag of money that you black Americans cannot come here. They want you there. And you are to stay kizzy. You're supposed to kizzy. Stay put. So understanding, that you had the whole Pan-Africanist, they'll let you go down that road and bump your head 1,000 times. Ain't got nowhere. So let's look at things that we have done that gotten us nowhere. One big thing that we should look at as a collective community is look at gentrification and how gentrification has affected our neighborhood. What has happened in my city under the guise of Democrats, a Democrat-led city, in multiple cities, all of you guys that live in urban areas, that live in blue cities, have watched gentrification blow through your town like crazy. People come back here, black folks come back to Portland and say, one of the first things they'll tell you is they can't recognize it. And I'm talking about people who have been gone some have been gone for less than 10 years. But being gone so long and then coming back, it's like, wow, I don't recognize it. Because what you knew to be your neighborhood where you can automatically go and see black folks is no more. And so with having a history, see, here's how cold they do. So they come through and make your district historic. And then proceed to start working you out. Urban beautification, urban renewal. That ain't nothing but fancy words for gentrification, which ain't nothing but a big word for move them ends out to the sticks. We just built all these apartment complexes ready, and it's already subsidized. So tell them to go have some children and get on the state and file for Section 8. And what have we ended up with as a community? We have had our community's unity torn to shreds. So much so that we have people that are now running around here as if being black and Democrat are the same. So they feel like, oh, y'all over here with the other side. There is no side when you are just pressing the issue of a black agenda. I can't hold a side because this is not an emotional situation, nor should it be. It's a business transaction, and you're conducting business. They're conducting business. That's why everybody is saying, where is Kamala Harris? Because Kamala Harris is refusing to speak to the public. And when you refuse to speak to the public, no one can trust you because no one knows what you stand for. However, those of us, we do actually know what you stand for because we've heard it out of your own mouth when you told Black America what you felt about reparations.
So I'm not going to sit here and say I'm going to do something that's only going to benefit black people. No.
And there it is. Now, you have the whole Plies thing, which, I guess I haven't went live since he's made his whole. I think maybe I have, but this is the first time touching on it really, and this dude's overt, just I don't know what's wrong with Plies. He got Tourette's because MF is like every other word. Now you see the MF at McDonald's. The MF wants some MF and fries. You can't MF change the MF and what's wrong with this dude? And we supposed to be we literally and this is the problem for me. Like if they're kicking Plies a bag, out of all the people that you send to talk to Black America, you send P lies? Are you kidding? I can shooter. I'm my own shooter. We supposed to be taking advice from this guy. Ran off on the plug twice. He steady calling, I ain't calling back. But all of a sudden, we're supposed to be letting this mother. Man, come on, man, for real. I mean, man, y'all look like me. What y'all got with a black woman, man? What problem y'all got with a black woman? I just don't understand. Shut up. But nonetheless, got to visit the idiocracy here on the Beatzilla PDX official show too. Yeah, it's his moment. You know, let's see how he uses it. Oh, we already are seeing by out here bootlicking for Kamala Harris, because we shouldn't be asking her. Man, she a black woman. We don't need to be asking her nothing. Now, what she need to do is you just need to vote her in there, give her this participation trophy called the presidency of the United States of America, and this should be all good. And little girls that look up to it and say, ooh, if I'm my little black self, I could be just like Kamala one day. Pass myself off as another race and get elected. Oh, let's hear what Plies has to say.
It's real quick. But to everybody who, especially the ones who look like me, and the men who look like me, who quit the, if Kamala want my vote, she need to explain herself to me what she gonna do for the black people. Listen, stop asking a motherfucking black woman to explain herself to you.
You know, I actually thought this was the edited version. But nonetheless, that part right there. Stop asking her to explain herself to you. Sir, I want to address a few things here. That part right there is very important. And especially when it comes down to the black community. Let me do something real quick. And I am going to kill two birds with one stone, because then we're going to go straight to this other story. So let me do this. Bear with me. So that's Plies talking to Black America.
Yeah. You're attacking all of us.
Okay. And this is Grandpa Crash Out, Luther Campbell. Luther Campbell hopped out there and he was trying to bait foundational Black Americans. Basically, he wanted somebody, because he already called it. I showed you what that video was the other day. So, you know, there's a few guys on Twitter. So basically, any one of like these voices of new black media, he wanted to try one of them on his little filibustering space and come in there so he could do a whole bunch of filibustering and mute your mic and then drop you. And because here's the thing with Uncle Uncouth, he is classless. And so what he's doing now is amateur Bush League, and it's really showing his disconnect to Black America. And now he tries to throw, he keeps trying to interject Nation of Islam in against foundational Black Americans, which there would be none. Because there are plenty of foundational Black American and non-foundational Black Americans in the Nation of Islam who understand the harms done by chattel slavery put to this particular group. So when Uncle Uncouth gets out here and starts spewing things, especially at Reza, he's trying to make it seem as Reza is following Tariq Nasheed more than he's following Farrakhan. He tells you he's a follower of Farrakhan. But then Uncle Luke doesn't have enough respect for Minister Farrakhan nor Brother Reza Islam or protocol of even talking to another black man like you got some sense. he just goes off and starts screaming on Brother Reza. And you hear Brother Reza trying to cut through like, Brother Luke, no. So let's hear Uncle Uncouth, who some people say suspectedly was off that narcotic, possibly, allegedly. I don't know, but, so I've been hearing that some people said right before this clip, he was like,
Yeah. You're attacking all of us. When this fuck nigga say this shit, he's attacking all of us.
Who are you?
So if you gonna come, if you follow this,
talking about Tariq Nasheed.
Okay, just clarifying. I didn't know.
And for those of you who did not hear the space in its entirety, I'll just play this little clip because you're getting enough of the gist. But what he keeps doing with the Malcolm X, and of course Malcolm X's mother was Grenadian, but his father was FBA. His father was a freedman. His father was a Garveyite. So there was already pro-blackness there. Farrakhan, I believe they for some reason I thought Mr. Farrakhan still had one foundational Black American parent. But if that's not the case, and both of his parents are from the Caribbean, even still, this brother, I believe he was originally from St. Louis. He's always fought for Black America, has always stepped in and spoke up for Black America. It would be a disservice to the work that he's put in to even suggest that he should be considered a tether. Why? Because there's a body of work. And for an artist and a person who at one point owned People's Masters and owned a record label and had to put things out and got plaques for the records he put out, I'm pretty sure Luke understands that concept. But he's playing dumb purposely, because the point of playing dumb in this scenario is to make sure that y'all stay asleep, and anyone listen to any of the grassroots never really the message doesn't resonate, because he wants to keep the conversation in a low vibrational space. This wicked demon chicken bone smoking cat right here, man. He over here trying to use his witchcraft tricks. And you can tell he's trying to do it in the conversation. And really, you got to listen to this dude. Listen to the energy of deception. Listen for that energy, that tone, and that spirit of deception coming out of that brother, even while he's screaming at Brother Reza. Listen to him.
This Tariq Nasheed? No, we're talking about Tariq Nasheed. Don't get it twisted. You know what you came up here to defend,
brother. I follow
when we talk about him. Don't get no. I
follow Farrakhan.
No. You don't follow no Farrakhan. You saying that shit to justify what the fuck this fuck nigga be saying on here. If you say it for one person,
know who Rizza is.
If you say it for one person, see these people think.
No, you don't know who Rizza is.
You get on.
I just don't think
hold on. These people get on here and think that somebody don't know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody.
Yeah. No, and let me stop right there, because that is a great point. And that's all I really needed from you, Uncle Tether. So I played both of those pieces to make this point. You don't think I know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody? I'm sure you know somebody because I saw you speak to somebody who you are now advocating for, who is responsible and part of putting that brother who you was just screaming at, Brother Reza Islam, on a White House target list called the Disinformation Dozen. The White House is calling Brother Reza a liar, but you are here to tell us that no, you just here to cover for what Tariq is saying. And this brother would put his life on the line to be targeted by your vice president, your current president, this woman who you want to make president. This brother was targeted by them as a black man in the United States of America. But you had to scream on him because you couldn't allow that part of the conversation to ever come up. You had to keep it so low on Tariq. I want you to pay attention to people like that, family. He knew what he was doing. He most definitely knew what he was doing. You don't think I know? Yeah, I know you do. And that's why he had to cut him off. Because here's the thing. When we start getting back into the conversation of how the last few years have went, here's another thing I just remembered. Remember the dope using kit, the clean, safe dope kit that the White House is putting out? And then they sent the fact checkers out to tell you that those weren't crack pipes, they were meth pipes. You were getting fact checked for, that's not a crack pipe. That's a meth pipe. Well, excuse me. Oh my goodness. I was looking up the old fact checking things back then because I did a broadcast on that. And I read through their fact checking. Like, yo, this is paraphernalia. Because then I also had the video of the people who went and got them kids. And so here's the thing. Disinformation, they were putting out disinformation because they were trying to tell people that they didn't do it. And they absolutely, in fact, had done it. They put them things out and promoted it. And then this super duper lying bias media, that's why I call it the live stream media. And that they are owning their name every step of this way as we go to November 5th, 2024. They are earning every bit of the title live stream media. They are live stream media and legacy liars. Legacy liars. That's what they are. They tell lies from one generation to the next. And it's time that black folks stop paying attention to those lies. One big lie that you could have to tell yourself to have continued to vote Democrat, blue, no matter who, up until this point, you have went through gentrification and told yourself that it was on account of beautification. Their idea of beauty was getting your community out of its own community. Now you're nowhere near anything convenient. Nothing but police. A lot of these folks, they stuck in these corridors that like people are on Powell. People are out there. If you guys are familiar with the Portland area, people out on Powell. People are out on Burnside. When you're out on them streets, Burnside has a MAX train that runs down the center of it. So meaning if you're in an apartment complex over there, you'll have to like cross the tracks to get from one side of the street to another. So you're kind of one way in. If you're driving, you're going one way. That's it. You're just pulling out one direction. So They do that to black folks. Or where the other, like on Powell, black folks where they put stick folks over there are kind of pigeonholed in between these few major streets that, there aren't like through side streets. So it's very easy to kind of box people in. You can easily establish a perimeter. Why would they need to do that to black folks? And yet and still, we're watching things out there like, do I have that in here? Where is that? Yeah, let me show y'all this crazy madness, man. It's just Colorado. Venezuelan gangs have taken over an entire apartment complex out in Aurora, Colorado. These are gangs from another country that has been allowed to come up in here thanks to Kamala Harris, thanks to Joe Biden, thanks to everybody and all of you who voted blue no matter who. Because one thing is for certain, this is not better. This is not better by a long shot. And anybody who says this is better is an idiot. And you'll probably say, well, then I'll be an idiot then. Well, then you need to stop running around telling everybody else they stupid for not voting for Kamala Harris. Because this is pretty much welcoming genocide. And you're some kind of dangerous to the rest of us. If you can't witness what you can't understand what you're witnessing, your eyes, you see what you see. You see exactly what you see. You don't have to tell yourself, oh, no, maybe they're looking for some. No, they're over there taking over that building like the Carter. This is you, Democrats. Especially y'all black ones and y'all. I'll even give the brown ones some work on this one. Because for those of you who like to come around and be on this coalition, these your folks that you'll advocate for, and you want black folks to advocate for it. And then we're getting disaster over here. I will say, you starting to see a lot of them Latinos in these other cities saying, hey, this is a problem. But you got black Democrats that absolutely refuse to see the truth. And this has been perpetrated on you by the very people you keep fighting for. I mean, good grief. What the hell do you think this means?
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
And now let me also say, now for right now, what people might know or might not know, matter of fact, let me see if I can find that real quick. For those of you who don't know, Kamala Harris, or Kamala Harris, let me say it right, let me not, here's her name right now. She's talking about a border wall. Yeah. Yeah. How we get to the border wall, man? Okay, so let me this is from Axios. So let's do this here. Because we finna get to this. Like I said, now I'm gonna double back on our brother Reza Islam and how all of this is playing out. Because, like I said, this is the whole DNC War on Black Voices story. So, first off, we have already stressed what our issue is. Now, I guess somebody wants to do something with, again, not doing something for us, but saying, well, ain't this something? At least y'all asked for this. So it looks like, and this is by Axios, Harris flip-flops on building the border wall. Wow, you don't see. And they say flip-flop. Now, I'm sure you're going to have by tomorrow, D.L. Hughley and Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley will be telling you that she was never against the wall and she was never against the border wall and enforcement and abolishing ICE. We might start hearing that all of a sudden because the way the DNC is promoting this campaign is just lie. Make whatever you can up. It does not matter. Just like that sister that called in to Brother Phil Scott. She said she did not care if she was lying. I had to rewind it. Did I hear her correctly? Did I hear her correctly? She said, he said, ma'am, that's a lie. I don't care. You don't care if that's a lie? No. Okay. All right. We don't care if we lying. And that's basically their campaign. Their campaign slogan should be lie and lie some more. And after that, lie again. So let's read this a bit. Let's see. If she's elected president, Kamala Harris pledges to spend hundreds of millions of dollars on the wall along the southern border. Oh, who initiated that wall again? Not that I am a Trump supporter, but it is oddly ironic that within a 2-week time span, she has already pilfered 3 different policy ideas and plans from Donald Trump. Just okay, but his administration was the worst, and right out the gate, everything that you've heard other than that horrible plan that everybody seems to, man, y'all don't want 25,000 for a house? Hey, Plies, genius. They're already giving $30,000 to undocumented immigrants. Illegals are getting $30,000 per family. So to double back on all America, that's not anything specifically for Black Americans, of course, although this is specifically for non-citizens. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you guys, and you'd say we should do research and, well, don't you just do a Google search? You can look up somebody's record. I know what their record is because I can see it where I live. And that right there, the hacienda, and I don't know, I might have to just drive past there and do a little quick video here so y'all can see what's going on. Because they got them a whole little space over there. Now that I really, man, if anybody is from Portland that's listening right now, especially in the replay, share your thoughts on where Mr. Burger used to be. Let the family know what's standing there on that corner right now and who it's for. So, yeah, Plies, nah, bruh. No, sorry, Bob, dude. Man, y'all don't need to ask. No, we got questions, pal. And I live in it. What's her name? The Jaya pal. So the other lady, and we have a whole nother one that's trying to get out there to Washington, D.C. right now, too, Janelle Bynum. But we have one of them Jaya pal sisters out here, too. She failed in her campaign, but nonetheless, these folks have been strategically placed. What is a Jaya pal doing in Portland politics? They go to these different areas and start intervening intermingling in the politics there. They're getting established. They're getting set up. Their stories are being massaged. Entrepreneurial startup business owners that are basically well off or semi-well to do get poor bartender stories. Oh, my ex, I was a bartender and you were a business owner, ma'am. Stop it. Don't tell me you're a bartender at a bar you own. No, you're a business owner. There's a big difference. You know, but AIPAC didn't go after AOC. They got her pals. She didn't stand up for them one bit, but, you know, they didn't go after AOC. She seemed to be cool. Yeah. Anyway, let me move on. Like I said, we can't get nothing but they getting $30,000 and you want us to vote in what she says she gonna do when we already see our money, that's, mind you, our money going to illegals. Man, y'all don't know. Nobody that don't want, y'all just want to be broke and this and that. Man, don't come at us with that idiotic BS. We actually do research here. So let me go on. Why it matters. It's the latest example of Harris's flip-flop on her past liberal positions, such as supporting Medicare for all and banning fracking. Proposals that aides say she now is against. Harris is embracing a more hawkish immigration policy as Donald Trump's campaign spends tens of millions of dollars attacking her about the border. But she still has significant differences with Trump on immigration, opposing his approach to family separation and his plan for mass deportations. Well, see right there, yeah, you just lost my vote. We're not responsible for bringing these people here, but we're not going to be responsible for their children. We're not going to be responsible for them. They irresponsibly broke the law with these children. Send them all back. Sorry for the situation. Don't miss my sympathy, or don't miss my sternness for a lack of sympathy. However, we have to shore up home first, and this is home. Every sad story ain't gonna get you in our door. So let's be about the business of America and handle it that way. Save your violin. We got business to take care of here at home for citizens. You know what I'm saying? All right. Got a cough drop in my mouth, by the way. Goes on to read, driving the news. In her speech to the Democratic National Convention last week, Harris said she would sign the recent bipartisan border security bill, which Trump had ordered his allies to kill, fearing it would help Democrats in the November election. The bill, negotiated by senators such as James Langford from Oklahoma, a Republican from Oklahoma, and Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut, requires hundreds of millions of dollars of unspent funds to be used to continue building a wall on the border. It requires the Trump border wall, Langford told Axios. Yeah, but you're still letting these people in. So here's the problem with it. They're saying we have a new bill. And I'm glad they actually said that much, because that's really what I needed to know about this. Okay, so point being, build a wall while still letting 2,500 a day in. Up to 2,500 before you actually say that's too much. Come back tomorrow. Hopefully you're first in line. But if you can get in tomorrow and get yourself established, We got you. Now, just to show you that this is political theater, and somebody, man, why aren't you giving all this attention to someone else? Because we are the ones who are being used and lied to and lied on. Because the other thing that this woman is doing is posing that she's black when she's not. And then everybody talking to us about blackness and she's not. Even if she was black by way of Jamaican and saying melanated, still not us and of our culture. We don't owe her nothing. With that being said, let's take a flashback to the past because now she's talking about she'll sign for a border wall. That's what I just read you. Let's hear what she had to say when it was Trump's border wall.
This president.
Right.
And it is a problem of his own making.
Right.
And listen, when I travel this country, folks have plenty enough problems that they need their president to focus on.
You know what?
Instead of a wall that, by the way, because I was a prosecutor for many years, including the Attorney General of California, I specialize on transnational criminal organizations.
Yeah.
That wall ain't gonna stop them.
No.
Gonna stop them?
No. Yeah.
That wall ain't gonna stop them.
No.
That wall ain't gonna stop them. Wow.
You don't need to build a wall. This is a crisis of his own making. And by definition, just plain speak, basic English language definition, it is not an emergency. What's going to end up happening is that he will end up, without any question, if he proceeds, we're going to be looking at a situation where, in particular, homeowners and landowners in places like New Mexico and Texas are probably going to look at government taking their land. We're looking at military resources being focused, again, on the president's vanity project instead of focused on real national security issues. It's the president's vanity.
Wow. Wow. This was a vanity project. Then what is this on the screen? If preventing American taxpayers from footing the bill for tens and thousands, hundreds of thousands of illegals who you're trying to backdoor them into giving them the right to vote, they're telling you on the face of everything that, well, you have to be a citizen to vote. Right. In theory. But here's the dishonesty of it. And I hope you understand, here's the problem of the way they're running this campaign. It is rooted in dishonesty. The foundation of Kamala Harris's campaign is a question mark. A straight up question mark. Let's hear some more of this wishy-washy mess.
Vanity project. You know, I mean, listen, if we deconstruct, get the pun, deconstruct wall. If we deconstruct the issue, you know, let's be clear. And again, let's just point to the facts and the evidence and the data. And the fact is that we are not facing a crisis. The crisis we're facing is a crisis of leadership. That's the.
Wow. How did we get here, ladies and gentlemen? How did we get here, ladies and gentlemen? Huh? How did it happen? If it wasn't a crisis at that point, how did it become a crisis? Well,
this country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. Hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
And trying to add to that larger population than y'all do. Why? Because that's the mission. And so when Trump was running on securing our borders and had nobody lined up to just get in this country in mass numbers when he was in office, these people are telling you it's no crisis. But they turned around and told black folks day one that they were going to open in the floodgates. They was talking about that all along. I mean, you asking in a presidential debate, the presidential candidate then, Joe Biden, what about reparations for chattel slavery, and he immediately turns and tells you that the immigrants built this country. That is a slap in the face to Black America. And that should not be accepted or tolerated. But, you know, we got so many of our own, man, you know, he old, so, I mean, he just speaking his mind.
Crisis. That's the crisis. And a wall won't cure that. And a wall won't cure that.
He talks about this wall. I always say, let me know how high it is. If it's 25 feet, then I'll invest in the 30-foot ladder.
Wow. And now it's time for the wall. Hypocrisy at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely. Oh, man, oh, man. So I wanted to do all of that, you know, and go through all of that to get to this point. And like I said, from Uncle Luke to Plies and what Uncle Luke was doing, which I would say to Brother Reza was just whack. That was just really whack. Amateur Bush League. No debater, just wanted to get out there and yell. Didn't have a respectful dialogue to begin with. Yo, coming up, yo, and then start yelling on cats. Like, what's wrong with you, dude? You just trying to defend it. Man can't get out a word, but this dude gonna tell Reza all about what he there for. Jeez. Lord, Luke. All right. But y'all see what's on the screen. Because this story then came out and you know, it's good to see. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me do this here. All right. So yeah, Zuckerberg says he regrets caving to White House pressure on content. He had to. Enact all of this crazy, because if y'all notice, y'all haven't had nearly the same amount of community notes or misinformations and contexts on your posts, have you? Sure, you probably haven't in a while. It's been kind of interesting not seeing those things, but whatever. So with that being said, says Meta's CEO tells House Judiciary Committee that he wishes he had been more outspoken against Biden administration efforts during the pandemic. Okay, so we keep talking about freedom. This is literally messing with the First Amendment. And this is so okay. Go delete your heartbeat in your belly. But this right here is just too much. You don't get a chance to get out there and speak your mind. Oh no, that's too much. All right. This is by Laura Corte, whatever. Mark Zuckerberg says he regrets that Meta bowed to Biden administration pressure to censor content, saying in a letter that the inference was wrong, and he plans to push back if it happens again. Meta CEO aired his grievances in a letter Monday to the House Judiciary Committee in response to its investigation into content moderation online platforms. Zuckerberg detailed how senior administration officials leaned on the company to censor certain posts about that stuff, including humor and satire, and expressed a lot of frustration. When the social media platform resisted. Wow. I believe the government pressure was wrong, and I regret that we were not more outspoken about it. Wow. I feel strongly that we should not compromise our content standards due to pressure from any administration in either direction. And we're ready to push back if something like that happens again, or something like this happens again. I would hope so, but I hope that you would be willing to also make sure, because see, this is like, oh, well, I see the writing on the wall. Trump ain't gonna make me do nothing, so let me go ahead and do this. That might be the case, or this might just be cool. You're gonna kind of withdraw and be neutral, which you probably should have been in the first place, which makes sense. So you don't do all this over censoring on something that they say they don't like. It's not that it's proven to be true. That I hope that's the other part that's coming out, that people understand that the other part they're not really saying without. You understand what I'm saying? Like this means they fed you a load of garbage. And this administration, for whatever reason, was trying to force you. They were not your body, your choice at that point. What has happened? I would see these are the questions that we need to know. When they saw, man, y'all don't need to be asking. No. Yeah, we do. Because that whole mandatory thing that they were trying to do before, they had to get stopped in the courts. That got stopped in the courts. And just as today, this lady is commemorating signing the Emmett Till anti-lynching bill, to which they had Carolyn Bryant alive and whatever, and refused to go get that woman and put her in some cuffs. Instead, just let the old white woman die out. While you actually want to tell us it's a big deal you signed this bill, but you refuse to punish the person to whom it's named after because she was responsible for his death. That's insane, but that's America. Zuckerberg also expressed regret for Meta downplaying of content related to coverage by the New York Post about Hunter Biden ahead of the 2020 election. That the FBI warned may have been rooted. What's that? That FBI warned may have been rooted in a Russian disinformation operation. Man, if you don't stop. It's since been made clear that the reporting was not Russian disinformation. And in retrospect, we shouldn't have demoted the story, he wrote. Republicans on the community led by Ohio Representative Jim Jordan celebrated the letter in a long series of posts on X, calling it a big win for free speech. And I would have to agree. The White House issued a statement defending the administration's approach to Soviet information. When confronted with a deadly pandemic, this administration encouraged responsible actions to protect public health and safety. The statement said, wow, our position has been clear and consistent. Oh, this sounds like Shea Pierre. We believe tech companies and other private actors should take into account the effect their actions have on the American people while making independent choices about the information they present. What the hell does that mean? The letter is the latest installment in a multi-year Washington argument about the role of social media companies in suppressing content friendly to conservatives. You know, it's funny. Let me see. Elon Musk, right? Talking about Elon Musk. Okay, so let me go down here. Jordan demanded extensive internal communication records from Meta and threatened a contempt of Congress hearing for the tech mogul before de-escalating at the last minute, saying Meta had provided the documents he requested. Wow. Huh. Okay. And this is pretty interesting. So I just wanted to touch on that particular story. I think that's about it anyway. But that's about it. But isn't that something? Like, go back to Luke and trying to cut Reza off. Just think about that. He got a reason to why he was trying to cut him off. And that's what I'm like, maybe it's that. Because we're going to have to get back to the fact that they were over here forcing things on folks. Right? They're over there forcing things on us. Another thing they like to see, I don't know if I'll be able to get that right here. Let me because the other story of the evening is but I don't have them on here. You know what? Yeah, let me touch on these videos real quick though. So let me hit these clips first before I get there. Let's see, do I have that? Okay, bear with me 1 second, family. Okay, so number one, let me play Charlemagne because they is all upset at Charlemagne. And Charlemagne just told the truth. Harris is a candidate. And so she needs to be asked questions. It doesn't make sense to be skirting that as a person that really wants to run as they say, the free world. You know what I mean? That's insane. But let's hear what Charlemagne had to say.
Plies is absolutely positively wrong. If people are asking questions, that's great. I don't even know why Plies is making this a black woman versus black man thing. This isn't about black men and black women. It's about elected officials and potential voters. The whole point of campaign season is for candidates to go out there and explain to the American people why they should be the one in charge of this country. Votes are earned, not given. And they are earned through you going out there and explaining yourself. Vice President Kamala Harris has to go out there and explain her agenda and why she's the person for the job. Former President Donald Trump has to go out there and explain his agenda and why he should be the person to get his job again, or get the job again. I don't understand Plies or any black person for that matter telling black people to just settle. Just accept whatever the candidate is giving you. Don't ask any questions.
Yeah, but
just
they've
vote.
been doing it.
They don't have to explain anything to us.
They've been doing it for a long time. Even with Biden, when we ask questions to Biden, well, it's the best of two evils. You know what I mean? You got to pick one. But no, if you have questions, people should be able to ask. That's the point of a politician, right? They're supposed to represent us, represent our district, represent our country. Shouldn't we ask?
And by the way, they should be explaining without us asking. That's the whole point of them doing these press conferences and these meetings.
Yeah.
The same way these politicians have meetings for their donors and they have rallies and press conferences explaining themselves and their agendas to certain groups, they should have to explain themselves to black people the same way. Plies is 1,000,000,000% wrong.
And I agree. And so a lot of people, you know, I don't know what people be thinking, to be quite honest. Because at the end of the day, we got Steve Harvey up there. What'd Steve Harvey say? I'm going to throw a softball question because, you know, that don't mean nothing to me. You know, don't be asking, we can get rid of that foolishness about what you're going to do for the black community, because you just can't say black and expect to get up in the White House. Brother, she is already in the White House. And let me get something in here, because I had to look at this other woman. I keep forgetting that Kamala keeps this woman nearby, and now that Kamala's about to be, well, she is the nominee. It's like, oh, okay, she's back. There's a few of them like little shields that I've been wondering, like, where are they at? Because I was just going through some of my old clips, and I'm like, there's a few people I'm waiting. There's a couple that I'm waiting to make their entrance, but one recently did, and I'm like, you know, this loon, you got to watch. Keep an eye on this one. But let's before I go to cut away to Steve. Well, no, let's do Steve Harvey first. Let's go ahead and get Steve on out the way. And because, okay, with Steve Harvey's piece, do y'all understand when brother Umar Johnson asked Steve Harvey in that video, he asked, Steve Harvey is using those liar tricks. So that's what he's doing. So, and I say a liar trick because he's basically trying to change the premise of the conversation, and so therefore framing a narrative that doesn't exist because no one was talking about it. What Dr. Umar Johnson was asking Steve, hey, they offered me this. How much did they offer you? Because what you have been doing says that you have clearly been getting paid. And if they was going to offer me this little 10, then I know they're breaking you something off. What was the price right? Nowhere in there do you hear Dr. Umar infer or suggest or say Steve Harvey got offered $10,000. But a way to make sure you could try to turn the truth into a joke and then make it look absurd. That's, well, I guess a good comedian trick, but a very bad liar trick. So, funny that I said trick, talking about Steve Harvey. Anyway, let's hear what he has to say.
We are the only race of people that's responsible for the actions of one another. Ain't no other race of people responsible for each other. Let me tell you something, man. As soon as something happened to a group of black people, then all of us have to bear that. All of us. You know, I had a job one time before I got into this, and a dude robbed a liquor store and was on the news and got shot on the way out the liquor store. I came to work the next day. The white people wanted to know, did I know him? What the fuck? How? You know what I'm saying? Well, how the fuck I got to know him? I don't know nobody robbed liquor stores. No, I don't know him. But we are held accountable. But what we have to be careful for again, though, is because we are held to that criteria, we've got to do better by one another. We have got to stop this self-destruction of one another. Ain't nobody on IG, Instagram, TikTok talking about each other the way we do.
Stop it. Stop it. Now, here's the thing. These people have came on all kind of platforms calling black folks dumb and stupid for not voting for Kamala Harris. They act as if that is a sinless act, and it is not. You are willfully insulting other black people for a non-foundational black American. That right there in itself is treason. Then you say we're going at each other. Well, number one, we're not going at each other because Kamala Harris isn't one of us. Number two, you implies in the D.L. Hughley's and the Ricky Smileys, it's literally you up here with a microphone, grandstanding, talking about how you can't stand black people sometimes. That's what Ricky Smiley said. You're a threat, sir.
We have got to change the way we look out for one another. We have got to be more in the build-up business than the tear-down business. We got white folks coming on podcasts talking about how we ought to act towards each other. We don't need white folks checking us, telling us how to be towards each other. We know how to be towards.
How could they do that in the first place? That doesn't make no sense.
One another. We just got to get in charge of it. We got to start checking one another. When you see these cats over here wasting your time on podcasts with all this negativity, why is it so many clicks and likes, man? Why don't we ever check people on that? Why don't we defend one another? What happened to being happy for people in love? What happened to cheering for families? What happened to wanting this brother's business to win?
Uh-oh. Well, there was one line that you just said in there, brother, that they don't like cheering for, and that was families, and you were in a room full of black folks. They don't like talking about black families, Steve. Or did you not get the DNC memo about dismantling the traditional family, especially that was Black Lives Matter agenda? So dismantling the nuclear family has been a mission of the Democrats, brother. I'm imagining you had to have known. You probably had gotten that message memo one time or two. I would have thought, you know. But nonetheless, let's hear a little bit more of this.
What happened? Hope that sister become president. What happened to that?
She ain't a sister.
I can't stand it, man, when I see black people coming up in here challenging Kamala Harris about this, that, and the other. Well, they're not challenging Donald Trump to shit.
Because Donald Trump doesn't have black folks as a built-in voting bloc and voter base while getting nothing. The circumstance of bringing it up Donald Trump is irrelevant. It means nothing. And these people use it as a talking point because they're stuck on the meaningless move of relying on people's hatred, fear, or whatever against Donald Trump versus the reality of what they're living and looking at all of these illegals coming in, flooding the zone, and then gas prices, food prices is all crazy. Car payments, they're talking about how car payments are record high. I mean, rent through the roof, mortgages through the roof. This is not a great time. And you're flooding the zone with a bunch of illegals that you're trying to set up. You talking about come here for a better life, I'll say. Because they can't get $30,000 for a home being an illegal, being a lawbreaker. There's no criteria. You're talking about recent asylum seekers, man. Man, we don't need to be talking, be questioning. Yeah, we need to be questioning this, brother. This right here deserves a ton of questions, bro. And the stuff they're trying to do in California, her state, right below us. Yeah. Yeah, there definitely needs to be some questions. Because when you're doing stuff like this, and then you're also trying to give mass amnesty to all of these people, you're trying to give citizenship to these other folks who, I mean, look at what they're doing. They're rushing hand over fist to, if they have to get out by November 5th, or if they're out by, I guess that would technically be January. So if the vote doesn't go their way, they are already trying to squeeze in policies for illegals. Why on earth is he talking about black folks not feeling Kamala Harris? Why would we? We're not the people she's advocating for, genius.
They let him go unchecked however he want to go. The Republican, see, I'm on something else now. Don't you start. I'm getting pissed off now. Because see, you can't be sitting up in here talking about what she ain't. And then like Brother Umar the other day. And I like him. I like Brother Umar, but he came back because he said Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley being paid $10,000.
No, he did not say that. See, and then he immediately comes out and lies on the brother. He know that man didn't say that. He knows that man didn't say that. See, this is the problem with this whole way of what everybody, the Shields, the DNC. I'm not with none of this. Everything is rooted in steeping like a bag of tea in the pool, in the dredges, in the cesspool of deception. And if y'all call yourselves any kind of spiritual, I just don't understand. If you're walking with this, you in league with this. You in league with deception, leading with deception. You're in league with that? You're cool with that? I'm not. I don't know why. And you would tell me, no, my job is to prevent folks from falling in the pitfalls of Satan. And this right here is Steve Harvey. He's openly lying on another black man, but y'all calling that good. This is bizarro world, family. Disagree. Of course we don't all agree with Dr. Umar all the time. But you don't have to lie on the man. This is lying on that brother, man. Straight up.
To promote Kamala Harris. I took offense to that.
Of course you did.
Because I don't do shit for $10,000.
Let's turn it into a joke. So I hope you guys understand. He's admitting by omitting the truth and he started with the lie to even introduce the conversation. He getting paid. Damn that thing, bro. Man. I don't like him either, all that pro-black stuff.
And you're not finna mess my money up, putting it out there that my rate is now $10,000. Back up off that shit, Brother Umar. You know good hell well. I'm pulling for Kamala Harris because she is the...
And he started talking about his damn money. No one cares, Steve. I mean, really, no one cares. Just be an old dude and be cool with being an old dude. Right now, you really trying to be a young, cool dude, and you're not. And you know you're an old dude, so knock it off. And stop trying to talk to young folks like you know what you're talking about. You ain't hip. Your time has came and went. And in the meantime, while they're also doing all this other madness, there's another little buddy that they had speaking up here that spoke at the convention. And this one got some real brilliant ideas.
We can't just worry about protecting democracy. In this moment, we've got to reimagine it with people that look and love like us at the center. And I think for us right now, it's about reimagining freedom and this American story in a way that is more revolutionary than what our founders actually put down on that little piece of paper, but instead is the type of democracy that is by and for all of the people of this country. That's the opportunity that we have.
You know, something else, I just want to take y'all back down memory lane as well. But see, all of that type of stuff is trying to make a comeback. So this can make a comeback. However, what's kind of odd, when Ricky Smiley was on his show, he talking about, man, see me sworn in on MLK Day. And, man, wouldn't it be something like her, AKA, to be sworn in by Delta, by Ketanji Brown Jackson? And And I want y'all just to remember when y'all trying to tout MLK today, let's just remember why we've been having to get on some of these weirdos' tops, especially these septum ring nuts, because they've been going at our black male icons. Maybe y'all forgot that because it didn't happen yesterday, but this is all going on within this administration's time, ladies and gentlemen. Now all of a sudden, MLK is a hero again. But let's hear what Dr. Kankles had to say.
We know that King was a ladies' man. He was a womanizer. And as a feminist, I do think it's really important to say that it's not just enough for you to say the right things in public and in pulpits. It is, your feminist politics, your gender politics are ultimately about how you treat women when the world is not watching, how you treat them in these private and intimate spaces. And so, was he an excellent partner for the beloved, for the beloved Coretta Scott King? Probably not,
That is something that never should be. Like, what are we doing here? We're talking about black marriage. And you can't even look at the union of someone else's black marriage without finding a way to insult it. And this is the nature of the Democratic Party. This is the nature and spirit of the Black Democrat. Why would we want to be dealing with this? I know I don't. This ain't cool. And it's all anti-black male propaganda. Let me finish the rest of this.
He had the ladies. He was a ladies' man. Wow. And that's also, though, very much as both a product of the Baptist church and the daughter of a Baptist preacher, I can tell you that this is how Baptist male preachers roll. They're often ladies' men. It's not a thing that we say a whole lot in black communities. We should say it more.
In the meantime, both of these women on your screen have non-black men. What about the men of the community to which their husbands hail from? Their husbands come from a system of absolute white male dominance. There is no matriarchy where their husbands are from. Yet and still, within our community, you look at these women as your strength. But let's find it okay within our feminist ideals to knock iconic black men, especially one who is largely helpful and responsible for allowing all of these people to whom we call tethers into this country. That's our ancestor. Not to be mistaken with a stranger, but that's our ancestor. So let me play you a little more of this other weirdo, and then I'll get to my last story. Because that one I just played, there's another video. Because she, like I said, she spoke at the DNC. She literally spoke at the DNC. That just lets you know, you can kind of see the program coming down the pike. Although I'm sure some people would be like, man, that don't mean nothing. I mean, she just there and she a Democrat, so of course she gonna speak. Nah. No. I understand there's more at play here, family. Don't let nobody kid you.
70 years ago, on May 17th, the Supreme Court made history with its decision in Brown v. Board of Education. It was a turning point in our nation's journey towards racial equity.
Black people.
But let's be clear, we still have a long way to go.
Uh-oh.
The Brown decision was a game changer.
Black people.
It tore down the shameful doctrine of separate but equal, and it kickstarted
Black people.
the dismantling of racial segregation in
Black
schools
people.
and public places. It gave real teeth to the Constitution's promise of equal protection under the law.
Black people.
And it laid the groundwork for other landmark decisions that followed, like Loving v. Virginia, which struck down bans on interracial marriage.
Not black people.
Like Lawrence v. Texas, which ended the criminalization of same-sex relationships.
Not black people.
It's like Obergefell v. Hodges, which recognized marriage equality.
Again, not black people.
But here's the thing. The promise of Brown is under attack. Anti-democratic, anti-equality, anti-education politicians are hijacking our courts and trying to turn back the clock on our progress. They want to undo the hard-fought victories of the civil rights movement and the LGBTQ+ movement.
Whoa.
They want to take us.
Hold on. See, this is the dangerous part, family, and this is why we absolutely have to delineate. And these type of individuals as well must be called out. Black agenda and Black history has nothing to do with LGBTQ history. That is a completely different thing. And the way she is trying to mesh, she's trying, so whatever these black folks is fighting for, we need to be taking these gender politics with it. No, the hell we don't. The black struggle in America does not intersect with anyone. No one. And you have to have some weird looking black woman bringing this non-binary BS to a situation that is extremely binary. Black folks, period. Not black and. No, singular. Black. One group of people. That's all we talking about. The folks from here, the descendants of chattel slavery. Don't get in my comments talking stupid like you don't know who I speak of. Because see, when I speak of black folks, I ain't speaking of outsiders. I'm speaking about people that's inside our household to begin with. So if you know that you come from an island or you know that, then I clearly am not talking about you. In a lot of ways, people should probably look at that Bible that way too. But that's a story for another day. But let's hear more of this Wiccan.
Back to a time when discrimination was the law of the land. Well, I've got news for them.
It still is.
We won't let it happen. We're going to stand up for Brown. We're going to fight like hell to protect the rights of every American, no matter their race, their gender, their sexual orientation, because that's what equal rights under law is all about. So as we mark the 70th anniversary of Brown v. Board of Education, let's recommit ourselves to the vision of multicultural inclusion.
It is no multi-nothing. It was all about black folks. This is just like Juneteenth. We have something, it's like this is for everybody. No, it isn't. And this is the problem. We have folks in black skin wearing the uniform, doing this nonsense nonstop. These people are treasonous. Absolutely treasonous. And so what she keeps pushing, she's pushing that coalition mess. Well, let's let her finish, and we're going to wrap up on the idea of this coalition.
Inclusive democracy. Let's honor the legacy of those who fought for justice and equality. Let's pick up their mantle and let's carry it forward. The road ahead of us won't be easy, but we are in this fight together. And together, we're going to build a future where every person in this country can live with the dignity, respect, and equal rights under the law. That's the promise of Brown. That's the promise that we must keep.
Trying to take everybody else along on our struggle while they don't have to struggle along with us. That is absolutely treasonous. on 1,000. Now, like I say, treason. I say treason for a reason. Because in the ideas of having, when you think you have allies, I already know we don't. Some of our people have to find out the hard way. So in my city, people have known me, for years. I've been about this pro-Black business for, you could probably see people that know me from middle school and high school will tell you he has been this way since then. That's why it's always funny when I see these idiots talking about, you kept talking for the white man. And then the white man, let me tell you something. I ain't had near phone call in the last 15, maybe more years that has not been tapped. Anybody that calls me knows my phone is tapped. It's been tapped for well over 15 years. Because I'm not new. You understand? So I get it. And so people, hey man, why don't you get part of this? And why don't you, join up with this? And for me, if it can't be about us, I'm not finna be there. Straight up. Because I know how much disdain other people hold, and they'll be willing to content to keep it quiet to get their thing off. Well, in this situation, I was right once again, because my friend, associate and compadre and comrade in arms, Teresa, who has been known as to be one of known to be the main Black activist out here. She wanted me to kind of, get down with her at the moment a little more, because we had already been in works with each other, but as far as just really being part of that organization, like, if it was you, what I'm saying? If it was just you, I can get down with where you're rocking. My problem is I'm seeing some of the energy off of these other folks, and they absolutely do not want this Black man energy anywhere around this thing here. That was easy to see. And it makes sense, especially now, so many years later. During the pandemic, we had a situation here to where we had, we have one of our long-standing political activists here who's drawn up our Senate bill, I believe 619, which is our reparations, Oregon's reparations bill. It's a package with dollars already tied to it. You don't have to study it. You could use this as a model. Any city or state rather in America could use it as a template and a model, and you can just adjust the dollar figures according to your state numbers. But with that being said, already knowing that was out there, and the pressure has been changing, from within. And let me remind you, ladies and gentlemen, there are not a lot of people that do what I do out here, by the way. So the pressure was mounting, the pressure was changing, and how you get pressure happening in such a small area like this, it's from the grassroots. Not just here, but abroad. So in essence, when someone would say, mind your state, some tactical situations call for you to mind your state by minding others. But that's what strategy looks like. Not stacking two checkers on top of each other. Anyway, like I said, looking at this individual, I knew this person wasn't cool. So they were going to, the state of Oregon was going to break off Black Oregonians $62 million to help with COVID relief. And this woman who's been sitting up here building her career, her political name off the death of Black Americans, saying Black Lives Matter, but that black money came. She said, whoa, 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 whoa. Revolution Coffee's owner sues over state's $62 million fund for Black Oregonian. Judge rejects separate motion to shut down fund. So there was somebody else that was trying to shut down the fund, but she sues. So this is the woman on the left-hand side. Look at where she's at. Left hand. On the left, that's Maria Garcia. She's a Mexican-American. And she's suing, now listen, look for yourself what this says. Maria Garcia left, hosted a Don't Shoot Portland press conference in 2017 at Revolution Coffee downtown with Teresa Rayford. That's my sister in the center. Garcia, who is a Mexican-American, is suing for access to a state relief fund for Black Oregonians. Now, we're trying to get help, though, right? But on Marcia, or Maria, she ain't got nothing to say about the hacienda money over here. Oh, she's silent about this hacienda business, right? I just want you to see how these coalitions actually work. This is your coalition at work. So once that she was steady, knowing and having her friend, because she's right there. So she's right there to undermine Black folks and undermine Black empowerment by being right there with Black empowerment. Because when she saw that Black Lives Matter was starting to move and people starting to look at Teresa, because truth be told, for what y'all don't know, this woman right here, this Black woman right here in the center, if she was a little more boastful, she's really the true reason why you ever had Black Lives Matter being a thing in the first place. They basically are created based off of this woman here. There was no, we're going out here. No, Black Lives Matter. You do your research and you Google and you do that. And let me say, for all of y'all sorry sideline side busting suckers in the city of Portland that do not give this woman her due credit, and a lot of y'all don't, but y'all real quick to talk slick about pro-Black business. Y'all some chumps and suckers. Because y'all ain't never gave this woman her due. And for that fact, none of us. So shoot, shout out Mike Crenshaw, Tony Hill, Ro Deasy, Tribe. Shoot, going all the way back to brothers gaining equality, brothers gaining respect. Shoot, salute to all of y'all, man. Black Panther Party back in high school. You know, the revival of BPP. This is what goes on around this area. I don't know about where y'all from, but this is in this little area. Oh, there's so many white people. Yeah, it's a lot of white folks, but there's a lot of Black stuff that actually starts here. So yeah, let's keep it buck. And like I said, for y'all that don't give her flowers, y'all some suckers. So anyway, goes on to read. The Mexican-American owner of a prominent downtown Portland coffee shop filed a complaint in federal court Friday, arguing that the state's unique $62 million coronavirus relief fund for Black Oregonians unconstitutionally discriminates against her. Separately, a federal court rejected an early request in a different case for a preliminary injunction to shut down the fund. So you're seeing this other group. Now, what eventually ended up happening is that other group that filed that other lawsuit, they ended up backing her. This woman sat up here with all of our, like I said, I've been at functions with this woman. And the thing that rubbed me the wrong way, I'll never forget. Getting up there with all of these black, I've told this story many times in this broadcast. This woman got up there with all them black faces up there and started talking about, well, it's not just black, but it's the brown. We also suffer from police violence, and let's shift the energy to brown too. And so this is just her perpetuating it in real time. Man, get out of here. When y'all talk to us about what they're trying to do, and this ain't no problem, the hell it ain't. This is your empowerment, and your so-called ally over here is going to the courts behind your back to stop you from getting your money. And then she sides up with the supremacists to make sure you don't get your money. Man, let me tell you something here. Let's see. Let's keep going. Because I'm not reading this whole thing. Let me go. Okay, so wild logging company owner from John Day. John Day is nowhere near this place, by the way. And I'm in Portland. Most of the black folks are in Portland. Ain't no black folks down in John Day. So understanding that these people that are so far away from John Day, Oregon, was going to get some money. Then, we got to file a lawsuit. Arguing that the fund illegally discriminated against him too. The U.S. judge, Karen Immergut, ruled Friday night that the plaintiff in the original case had failed to show a presumption of irreparable harm. I'll say that means that the fund can continue distributing money to Black Oregonians while the case works its way through the courts, quite possibly through the end of the year, when Oregonians' share of federal relief money expires. Let me also tell you something about that. So here, let me share something about that part. And I think that's really all I really I need to hit. Because here's the point of what happened with that fund that was for Black Americans. You know, all of those African immigrants and Caribbean immigrants that come into the spaces and say how they never take handouts. The bulk of the money went to Black immigrants. Let me say that again. The bulk of that money went to Black immigrants in Portland, Oregon. Portland, Oregon, the Pacific Northwest, the University of White Supremacy. Somehow these tethers had word when all the average Black folks, we were asking each other on Facebook and Instagram, has anybody heard? And then lo and behold, bam, somehow all of these Africans seem to know where this money is going to be distributed, because for some reason they weren't just, they said for Black Americans, and then they cut out foundational Black Americans and cut us off from even having the information. There was nothing in our community that let us know that this money was being distributed. Yet these immigrants did know. And I saw, we were going to the store one Saturday, seeing a bunch of tight mismatched sweats and outfits with sandals and dusty ankles. And I'm trying to figure out why all these people over here at this store that I've never seen them at over here before, but what's going on? Oh, yeah, the state is giving out money. And it's only to these Black African immigrants. You know, the ones that work hard, you know, they don't take no handouts. Yeah, all of them. Yeah, they were all in line. For whose money? Oh, our money. Our money, folks. Foundational Black American freedmen money. Don't you ever let these folks come over here and tell you, oh, yeah, I work hard. I never need a handout. I don't need a handout. BS. horse crap. You come over here and you the first in line. First in line for the food stamps. Don't get me started. I know who's over here because, see, one of the food stamp places here in this city sit right on one of these main streets. So if you have to drive on the north side, oh, you might see who lined up out there to get their food stamps. Man, if y'all don't stop it, have all of them vans parked off up in the miss me. Don't ever let these folks come over here and tell you they ain't getting handouts. Yes, the hell they are. But here's what makes it so bad. They will fight against you getting yours. And them tethers, them folks came over here and was over there sneaking in the back door getting all the money that was intended for foundational Black American freedom. We have to be vigilant on this, family. And so this is the whole reason why this war on our voices is. And it's manifesting itself in these other areas because at the end of the day, they got help. Don't ever let nobody tell you that you do not have the right to delineate. Yes, the hell you do. And at the end of the day, we're going to have to take a good cue from our elder. And that last little line that he's saying right there that is highlighted in black. The reason why we ain't getting where we need to get is because too many of us, let's read it together, we have not learned to practice the selfishness of survival. Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this evening's broadcast. I much appreciate it. Thank you very, 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 very much. And I would just say, get these names in here real quick. Where is this? Okay. So let me get to my member roll call. So let's get to it. Shout y'all out before we get up out of here. So to all the members, current members right now, Cult-Like Personality, Afro Troop TV, Jim's Eye View, Muff Moon, Hurricane IQ, No Bad News, Robin and Battle, Project Leroy, Phantom Beat in the building, Iron Will, and Tasha Peters, Samuel Logan, Tanya Zion, Ayo God, the Church of Black Empowerment, Dark Skinned Brother, Antithesis, Judah Yisrael, Key Prince, and Crew Reality Grand Niggas, and Faith Speaks Life, Lady Effa, Black Spider, my I-5 warrior sister, and Deneen Soul. Salute to y'all. Thank y'all for being members. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And for those who don't understand why we are taking the stance that we are on team vote no to benign neglect. And if you can't come up with tangibles and that's any side, then it just might end up being the couch, because it most definitely will not be down ballot, because we see even when you vote down ballot, those down ballot candidates have bad intentions for Black America. And with you people out there that don't understand Steve Harvey's and Plies and all the idiots of that ilk, y'all don't understand why we taking the stance that we are, and I've shown you just the receipts, just a few, but there's more to come. But if you don't understand, I don't know what's wrong with you. And I speak for myself, beatzillapdx official, beatzillapdx official show. Those of you in the chat, the grassroots, voices of new Black media, I think it is safe to say I speak for all parties involved, that for everybody on this screen, Plies, D.L. Hughley, Steve Harvey, Ricky Smiley, you ain't here, but YouTube. We proudly dedicate this song to you.
Get up off of that cocaine and get up off of that crack. Get yourself together and get your mind back.
Yes, indeed, family. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. Of course, you could support this channel at CashApp and PayPal. CashApp, $beatzillapdx. And PayPal is Zilla Music, which is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And with that being said, make sure you keep your notifications on, family. And just as we gonna have to start doing with these people who run around and try to get our money behind our back, hashtag hands off our reparations.
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
With that being said, family, y'all stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom, y'all.
When you know who Satan is, yes, sir, you don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.